guys, breeding season has finished, so we're going to move the girls back and we're going to sell a couple of our bulls. We've got too many. It's going to be another 12 months before we get another opportunity to breed, so the old fella's going to have to go. And only one. Oh, that's right, I already sold the bulls. For 11 months, you'll be fine to breed with those girls. Alright, we're going to leave this be. We're going to go and sell the old bull here. May put the girls back in the other pen until next season. That might be the way to go. I know we've got a bull in here as well. They're going to go and grab him. Take them to market. I know we've got a bull in here. My bull's dying or what? I don't remember taking him out of here. Three, 4, 5. Okay, I guess I've been doing so much lately, I've forgotten what I was doing. Okay, we're going to take this bull. Here's the old boy. It's time we put him out to finer pastures, shall we say, on people's bellies. And we'll come back and we'll move the rest of the herd in the breeding pen. We'll put them back into the main barn. Breeding season's done now, and it'll be another 11 months before they think about breeding again. So we'll try and get that pasture to grow back again, and we'll fill in some of the holes that they've been left. What are we doing for fuel? We might pick up some fuel on the way back. I want to get this bull off the trailer as quickly as possible. It's a bit stressing for them, especially when they know they're going to face the guillotine. They have a sixth sense about it. And we should be able to drop him off. $20 for him. I think it spent more on food than what I did. I don't think I made anything on that bull. In fact, I think I lost. But doesn't matter. You take your wins and your losses. Stop in the service station here. Fuel up. The equipment's going to need servicing. within the next few days, i.e. months. So I have to be mindful of that. Down here at Garrison. Nice new service station, just off the expressway. Good for us in the way of fuel, but for my neighbours and I, and there's two other neighbours in here now, we get all the city folk that want to come and drive through. It's a bit of a sticky beat. So we often see strangers around now and again. It's one of our neighbours up on top of the hill there. So we pull back into the farm. I think we'll move everyone out of this pen and back into the main barn, and that way it'll give 11 months of grace on this pasture here, so when breeding comes it'll be at 100%, and we'll just get them all in here. And we'll bring old Maxie over with us. That should leave the pen empty, which is good news. And trees are good on the farm, but they do get in the way quite a lot. This gate's open outwards for some reason. I have just spawned inside the trailer with the cows. Oh God. Okay. Let's drop them off. And there's more food in here for them too, so it's a wise move. And we'll pull back in the main pasture. Looks a bit more full now. So we've got 11 all up in here, 10 girls and 1 bull. And for the size, this is one of the biggest barns, i.e. pastures, barns with a pasture. This is the biggest one in the game, and for 11 head, it's about maximum. I'm planning on holding 30 in there, but realistically, it's 30 would eat that place out in a matter of just a couple of short weeks, if not earlier. Not to mention they'd stample the ground up. We'd end up with holes everywhere, and when it rains, water goes in those holes. The cows walk in those holes, and as they walk out of it, they pull more dirt out, which makes the hole bigger. Before you know it, you've got a pasture that's absolutely destroyed. Anyway, we'll drop this off. Now our neighbours over the other side where we sell our chickens, they've asked me to plant them a wheat field. Now this time of year, if we have any eggs, we're going to have a look over there first. We can't really put any wheat down at this time of year, but we can get the field prepared for them. And since I'm going to go over there and have a look, I'm going to take some eggs with me. I know I've got a little bit, but I've got barely anything to speak about really. Oop, And now we've got even less to speak about. I've only got a couple, but come on now. That's right, you can do it. Come on. You can do it. Come on, game. Please. Supposed to load up from the side here. The pallet spawned. I don't know why the rest of it didn't. Let's just drop it here for a moment. There we go. That makes it easier. A lot of effort for just a few eggs. 2 cartons anyway. And off we go. So we'll go and have a look at the size of the field that these neighbours want. And we'll see if we can assist them. Obviously can't plant the wheat for them. We've put manure on the grass yesterday, which is coming up fairly good. It should have given it its second state of fertilisation. These 2 fields are ready to be cultivated. Can't do anything today or tomorrow, so for the next 2 months in game, kind of sitting in limbo land until we got things to do. So it's probably now's the right time to lay a field down for the neighbours. This is their place here. Nice little place. They've got their own chooks over there. Probably snuggled up by the fire. They're not running their vines anymore. As you can see, they're all dead. And hopefully they won't ask me to do anything about it. This dog has had no food since it's been put down. Utopia. Poor dog's had about 6 months of no food. Still kicking. Still kicking somewhere. There he comes. Yeah. So this used to be a thriving place at one time. So now it's just a drop-off point for goods. As you can see, the workers will come out, put everything away, and we've got a whole $320 for that bit of effort, but it's not in vain, because this is where we're going to have a look at the field. This is where they wanted it. Let's take an overhead view. So they wanted a field that was going to run the line of their... I suppose we could split a double in here. That might be the way to go. They don't own much land this side. See if I can't get this grid to line up. Once again, my dog's been perfectly silent. The minute I come live, he starts. He starts all the time. Yeah, the minute I'm live, he starts carrying on every single time. Every single time. Okay, I'm going to fix this up a little bit. Because there's a grid line that runs through this way. Now, it's not going to be a very big field. I want to be able to come in and get it done in a very short time. So we found our grid line. What I like to do is this menu system sometimes is just as frustrating as this game is. Right, sometimes I like to just lay down the size of the field and just work to that. So we'll take that up to about here. So something around those lines. Which would also mean something around here. And that would square up. I think I might bring that water source out just a little further as well. So I always like to mark the ground before I start to, you'll see why in a moment, but I've got enough money for this. We'll go on to sculpting, and we're just going to bring this river source out a bit, out through the bottom here, make it follow around. Because this is going to hook up somewhere else fairly soon. But we don't want a river, we just want a bit of a stream. I'm going to take it from the middle now. Alright, this is going to be expensive, but I have no choice in the matter. I'm going to follow the line. You'll see why I've widened it right up in a moment. So there we go. It obviously looks a bit too big. So now I'm going to go over to the soften tool, go full power, open it all the way up. And this will shallow the banks on each side. And we'll also narrow the width. Just make it look a little bit more realistic. Come back again. So the most power is that red dot, that red dot in the middle there. If you want to shallow anything, you run the edge of that red dot on each side. We'll give it a little bit more of a softer bank. Just a little bit of patience is all. You can create whatever you want once you work out these tools. They're a lot different to FS19. It took me some time to get used to it. I hated it, but now I've gotten used to using it, and it's not too bad. You actually have a lot more control once you do sort of work it out. So we just soften that out. Now we'll give it a little bit of definition. Probably use animal mud up this side. Just follow it around. Try and make it not so squarish. A little bit of zigzag. Alright, and now we'll come back and fill it in. We'll start off with some grassage. Close it up a little bit. Eventually it's going to wrap around all of these until till I unlock over here, make it join that main one over there. Maybe a few bridges and stuff to put in. So my advice when you are building your own farm, don't try and do it all in one big go. Do it as you're slowly unlocking, and you'll find that your build will work out a lot better. And won't look so rushed. So sometimes you can get that really rushed look. We'll put a little bit of stone on these edges. Just through here, like it's been broken through. And it just makes it look a little natural. But less is more. Now we'll get a little bit of dirt. Well, this is actually water. We'll try a riverbed up this end. We'll probably build it all from riverbed. Much better. Hopefully this will all blend in nicely. Kind of let it take its own course. And that'll just spread out just near the flow. That'll be about it. A little bit more natural. And a couple of weepers. These bits here just to define this bend. And that's it. That can now continue whenever we decide to build out that way, because I think my property ends about here, so we've run right to the edge of it. We've also got a road that's going to continue through. I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. I wish a model would make a sheep pasture that had a really big pasture on it, because this would be a nice little quiet spot for sheep. But there's not too many talented modders left. They've all disappeared and left giants behind, and gone into other games. It's just how it is. If anyone notices, most of the real good modders from FS19 are no longer with giants. The good ones. There's still a few, but not many. And most of the mods we get these days are all in-base game mods that have just been altered one bit or another. Same mods day in, day out, nothing new, nothing fresh. It's getting very stale. So that's why I build my own maps, just to save my own sanity of repetitive mods of the same. Nothing new, nothing creative. Sad, really. A game with such high potential is collapsing. People are getting bored. Okay, let's go and drop this trailer off, and we'll get Big Bertha out. We'll go and take her over, and we'll start to create a field. So all I have to do to create a field is to make just the boundary, and the worker will do the rest. Now you do have to turn the worker around, but that's all you've got to do. It's a lot easier to create fields now. Let's go and get Bertha out. There's really not much for me to do on my farm. We're waiting for planting season as well, so we fed the pigs up the hill yesterday. Our neighbours up the hill here, we'll just leave our homestead. This is our neighbour's property. We left the bales for him, and that was the deal. If we cut the field for them, they keep the bales, I keep the grain, and I sold the grain back to them. They got some pigs here that we got to look after. They're away for another 6 days, and they got plenty of feed and water, so we don't have to worry about them. Come up here, keep our eye on the property, but they're the import exporters of no man's land, so we come up here and sell our goods. And their property catches all the water, which runs down to our other neighbour, and their stream runs all the way down here and keeps this river going as well. So our other neighbour here is no longer a vine farmer. They've given that up. Too much work, I guess. And they're just retired now. Got a nice little property. Got a nice little bridge to enter their property. They've got a few chooks. Not many. They've got about a dozen or just less. They've just left all their old machinery out to rust. They just put tools down and said, that's it, shut shop. And they just concentrate on buying products, basically wholesalers. They buy eggs over here, and now they want to do some wheat farming, and they can bag up the wheat instead of buying it, and they can sell wheat. And so we'll put a buying station here where we can only buy wheat from here, should we need to, which I don't think we'll need to. But yeah, so that's going to be the field. Nothing big, something that we can get done in a quick amount of time. So obviously filled out the middle. I just do the outside so I can see the grid line, and we'll follow the grid line to keep nice straight edges and just overlap just by a little bit, and the worker will just make it perfectly square. So I'll go and put this guy away. And we'll get Big Bertha out, and we'll get the plough as well. shut him down. Berth is up here. There she is, hiding in the corner. Make sure everything's working, all the lights and whatnot. Won't need anything here. I am going to shut the shed because we're not going to be in the farm. We're going to be away for a little bit. A lot of out of towners come through here lately, and I don't want to lose anything. Where did I put my little plough? Oh, of course. I've got a seeder and a planter. The little plough's back over here. I forgot. I meant to actually move it into here with all the field gear. But I didn't. Will we grab the weight? No, we don't need it. Here it is in the corner. I think I would have noticed that before I left the shed, but I didn't. Shut the shed. The mailman been? Nope, no mailman. Just going to shut the farm down. Let people know not to come in here. Some of the kids in the area come down here and use the barbecue and have a swim. I don't mind that. They're local boys, they're fine. So our neighbours are away, so they can't keep an eye on the place. And we've locked up here. Let's make sure our back gate is closed as well. They will be working near it. Things always happen when your back's turned. And we'll go and shut those gates too. We're good to go. Go and get this field created. Maybe one day they'll do the vines again. Looking at it, it looks tempting, but I know how much work you have to put in for very little reward. So I don't run their dog over. unfold it. And hit triangle button. That will allow us to create the field. Now we'll line up just with a little bit of overlap. And we'll be forward of this line here. So first of all, I'll paint a little bit of a path in. I get a lot of jaggedy stuff going on at the moment. Alright, let's kick it off from here. There's grid lines that you can hardly see. If I try and follow them, that'll give me a straight line. We're close to it. Spin around the other way. And don't worry about it being a little bit messy, because the AI will make it all square. Chopped up a little more than what I wanted. So you can do it that way by following the grid line, using the little black knobby on the front of the bonnet there, the bonnet latch, and just trying to keep it as straight as you can with one of the grid lines, which is why I paint normal grass. I didn't want to go any further over. I want the AI to do that. But fairly straight. Like I said, it doesn't matter. The AI will use to do a complete square grid. Got a real country kind of feel about it, which is what I was trying to capture. So I'm pretty happy with the way this build's going so far. I know that I got extra crop here should I need or want it, but I just like to plant it and kind of leave it. I turned crop destruction off, and I don't know if that's going to wither the plants or not. I'm guessing it will. And if they still wither with crop destruction off, because I don't really understand the withering side of the game, then I'll put crop destruction back on, as I usually always play with. But never ever do I play with weeds. They're the most frustrating part of this game. Not the most, but one of. Okay, now it's just a matter of doing our cross pieces here. Oh, for Christ's sake, game. It's either all or nothing with this thing. So you just mark the boundary, AI will do the rest. Of course you turn them around. It's a lot easier on the bigger fields. Alright, now we'll let the worker go. I only want one little row out that way. And we'll set the worker up. Moron won't do it. Alright, fine. I'm going to go and have to hire another piece of machinery. This game is just frustrating as hell. I'll actually trade this. I'll trade this one in, make the other one cheaper. I know I would be creating more fields on this map, so I may as well just buy the one I'm going for. Good for fuel. I'm going to need a service soon too. It's always something that you got to keep in the back of your mind. Once your tools start getting worn, if you don't repair them, their damage gets faster and faster. So eventually they just can't do the job. It becomes very expensive. You may as well buy new machines if you take the damage all the way down. And we're going to go and trade this in. And we could have done it with that and it was probably a lot easier. But nonetheless, oh, look at that, an olive picker, just as we were talking about doing vineyards. But no thanks. We go into cultivator, and up over here we have the big fella. Now that one's just the standard. We go a bit further along and we've got right there, there's two of them. This one will create fields, that one won't. May as well put it in the case colours, since we'll be running case as our main. Sell this and get some money back. Well, this thing will create super massive fields if that's what you're after. got a real rural feeling about this map, and I think I'm capturing it. I've built No Man's Land a lot of times. I've actually got a builder. I made everything suburbs, different suburbs that interlink with sealed roads. I could never get the roads right because it's so difficult. If you don't follow the grid, they look horrible. So I've built it many times and I've deleted many. FS19 I played No Man's Land more than any other map, consistently. I don't know how many times I've built this map. I know every part of this map, I guess, where all the hills and lumps and bumps are and everything, so that sort of helps when you do know the map and the template. And then just let your creative side take over. I used to spawn in, you know, $50-60 million and then build the map out completely and play it for a short time and just get bored with it because I didn't really have to work for it in any great sense. So when you've got to work for the money that you get, you get some sort of pride in it. This will be done in no time. Of course, the game's always going to throw me off grid, because this game makes everything you do as hard as possible. Everything. It's designed like that to keep you playing longer. And we'll set the worker off. Now this not only ploughs but it cultivates as well, so it makes it easier. I'm not going to turn him around. I'm going to make this one field and then I'll cut a track through the middle of it. If I was creating the fields with the small, you should keep going. Yeah, you will now. If I was using the small plough, which I did the border on, I would have kept the track in there and worked around it because it's just more manoeuvrable. But this machine I'm using here is ginormous. And he'll slow down and hit the circle button, release him from his job. And that's why I leave an overlap of a little bit, because these guys will make everything perfectly square, if you're after perfectly square. Set him off there. And he's doing it all himself. I just line it up. And this is now this border done. So there won't be any problems turning him around from here on. Stop there. I went a little too far that time, I think. Just because of these trees up here. So I'm going to have to line this up fairly well. Oh, this game, please, fair dinkum. It just makes you turn in the most unrealistic way. It sees what grid I'm after. Not too bad. Tiny little piece there. I am worried here if it's going to hit that tree or not. think we should just clear it. No, I don't think we're going to. This is going to be a collision. Whoa, boy, that was close. Righto, no problem. We just won't seed that close to it, but we will leave the field this size. And sometimes I'll do that. So you're already in a straight line, so you may as well just finish the row. I don't know why you stopped there, but that's just something that they do. We'll turn around, square off the top of it, and then we're right to just go up and down after that. So you just make one the shape you want, basically. And of course now we need to go over a bit. It'll do everything it can to not allow me to do that. Constant little tinkering. Oh, it gives me the shits, eh? And off we go. Patience is not one of my virtues. Never has been. And never will be. Right, now we've got a nice big thick border. It's a piece of cake now. You don't even have to line up. Just turn around. You don't have to get it perfect. You can have a big overlap. Drop it down and go. Doesn't matter about anything now. Hit the circle. Worker will just go and complete it, and you can go and do whatever you want for whatever time it takes for it to run down to the other end. I've made fields on this mat that started from the beginning of the mat right through to the very back border. It took about 4.5 minutes to do one run, and in that one run I was building the map as well as getting the worker to create ginormous fields, of which then I would cut through and make them into smaller fields. But I don't do massive fields anymore. There's no point to it. You have so much crop left over from every harvest that there's no point doing such ginormous fields like we had to in FS19. Drop it down, set the worker, and he'll find his own. He's going to make a liar out of me that time. It's because I had the tractor faced far too diagonally. So the overlap, it doesn't matter. You can spend time and line it up and get it just perfectly right. But it's such a wide cultivator slash plough, or plough slash cultivator, that it really doesn't matter. And keep going, stupid. Workers are still useless. They've never been any good, and they will never ever be any good. Framework just doesn't allow for it. Nearly at the end. Hit the circle button, take control back, spin around. Circle down, cruise control, circle on when you get near the field, worker takes over. It's just that easy, field's done. I want to split this field into two, so I will run the road through and put a little bit of grass on each edge, just so there's some sort of division between two small fields. I don't have to do it that way, I just want to. 118,000. And come back for the final run. If you don't stop them, they'll keep going, and they'll keep going, and they'll keep going, and they don't care what's in the way. They'll just keep ploughing and ploughing and ploughing. It doesn't take long. That was only a couple of minutes. The hardest bit was running back to and from the shop. And fold it up. There's another field done, ready for this farm. Maybe I'll leave it as one field. Run the fence line along here, which will divide the property. I always divide the properties. As you can see, all of this is owned by this guy up here. That's where the edge of that tile is. So I kept his property within that tile. And, oh yeah, we had to make another field up here. I don't think I'll do that yet. I did put a gateway for it. So because they got pigs, I was going to make some small fields, but small soybean and different things to make pig food with. Just working around the pigs there. So I don't really do pigs. I found the amount of money I pour into it, by the time they're ready for sale, you don't really make much. It's a little bit of profit, if any. If any. I've never been lucky. These bushes are here because when I put the pig pen down, it made a massive drop off and it ruined all this area, and then I had to build the land up, and that's the best I could do it, even taking the fence down. So I had to redo the road, cut it in here, and it doesn't give us a hard bump down here. It's still smooth, but you can tell that there's a land division right here on the edge. We'll turn that into a little bit croppy. A little bit rocky. There we go. Don't have to have so many bushes there now. Good enough. And these guys have got their division right down to the waterway, and they've got a funny shaped property which wraps around, and now we can take this fence and square it off out here and then straight down this edge. So they are going to need a silo, and I've prepared one earlier. I forgot I'd put that in there. Will I cut a road through? I'm going to leave it for now. I'll make a decision a little bit later. I do need to put a dairy sales point. Just not sure where to put it. All sales points, all rural farms that I build on this map will have a sales point at it. So it gives the property a meaning to be there and a reason to visit it. And so there's not just things that are built on the map that will never, that you never go to. So everything is going to have a purpose to being built. Oh boy, we're going to have to find room for this big thing. Lights on. I think we should move the mower over. Oh, she's like a bit rough there. Fortunately, I couldn't lower that smoothly. The shed's getting full. This game can make you collide with anything, it will do it. It constantly pushes you towards collisions. It's a fucking joke, seriously. Never walk under roller doors, especially when they're moving. If you do have to walk under them, they're heavy as shit. And the motors may have locks on them, but things break. One of them come down on you, you don't see the light of day again. Alright, I have nothing else to do. I have got some land I can sell. I want to travel through the map as I build it. To go to the sales points where I can still enjoy the visual of the other properties. And this is basically a dead-end road. This road leads straight from the main road to this property. My property comes off the side of this road. Their property comes off this road, which leads down to the main. So if I don't build off this road, then every time I sell, I'm going to have to come exiting my farm down here to go along the front. I don't really want to do that. I'm also at a decision whether to put a bridge up here on this hill and bridge across here to here, okay, like I've done on another build, and it looks really effective, which then one road runs down here and one down here. This road gets taken away and replaced with a river. It goes under the bridge and then hooks around here and hooks up with the water source. I've done that on a lot of builds and it looks really good, but I don't know if it's going to fit the theme of this map. Plus I don't have about $4 million to do it, because that's how much it costs you in game to get all the landscaping of the level done of both sides, so when the bridge goes down there's no gaps on each side of the bridge. I'll have to take probably about 4 trees down, cut right through this hill. So the reason I'm mentioning that is that when I put this new road in, I have to take that into consideration, and that this will be a river. If we run our main road along the edge of these mounds, along the edge here, we can still do a water and a bridge through. So this will become like another main road, which can widen a little bit, which means this will have to have a definitive source that says it's a property and not a continuous run through. So we're just going to change the shape of this a little bit. Go back to our there's a lot of trees here and they really stuff this up. So if we hit the collision with a tree just here like that, it just, man, it really annoys me. Please, modders, please, someone with some skill, please make us in game an anti-collision mod like we had in FS19, please. I know there's still a small handful of skilled modders in FS22 that have stuck around. Please, man, we need an anti-collision camera. Giant Software don't have the skill to do it. If they did, they would have put it in as part of the standard game. So we're going to have a nice little drive through here. There's the water source. Continue the road down here. Put a bit of a curve up and we'll make this a T intersection. Because that there can be a quarry. Branch this road off this way up towards over there, and then T-intersection this off this way. Oh, that could be a little bit better. Take that sharp edge off. There we go. Alright, so we now have another main road. It's going to have a bridge. Which way is that water going to run? It's going to flow through here. Arc around here. Let's do that now. No, let's not. 114 grand. We're all but broke. So if we're going to use this as a quarry, ideally, probably dairy sale point over here. Could probably turn this existing, this is the initial starting area, turn this into a dairy. Then it'd be nice for another farm to be here as well. I don't know, I'm going to leave that for now and come back and think about that later. So many plans, not enough money. Well, we just got our last field here, canola. It'll be 2 more days before that's ready. We've harvested everything else. And I've sold all the grain, so I got no more money. These are sunflowers. I might actually, oh there we go, now they've come up yellow. They'll be even better tomorrow. I didn't join this gate through because it would look like my driveway runs continuously through. And this is only here so they can access the fields. So this is their driveway here. Nice little property up on the hill. A fireplace for them to sit. Barbecue area. I think it's got potential. It's going to come up pretty good. There, anyway. Looks good up on the property up there. There's no traffic, there's no pedestrians on no man's land. So that's why I'm trying to build neighbours that I can see from the farm as I'm around. I can see the other property from up there. And when I'm up the back of my field here, and we're working the field from the front of the cattle, you can also see that property over there. So it kind of gives it a lived-in feel to the best that I can possibly do, especially on PlayStation with slot counts. At the moment, my slot counts, we'll just go on to anything. 1420 out of 2600, and there's only 3 properties down, so limitations are extreme. We'll go to sleep for the night. Back in August. Christ's sake, what's going on in this fucking game? The FPS is going all stupid right now. And that's ready for a cut, but we don't cut it today. We don't cut it. I'll show you that it is ready. See our grass field here. And it will say ready for harvest. Come on. Alright. Canola's ready as well. But we don't cut it because we don't have any orange tint on the top of the grass. It's still green. So one more day, it'll give it another growth spurt and we'll get a much better cut, a better yield. So I never cut it when it's green on the day that it's ready. I always give it one more day after, which is a month. And you get, fuck's sake. Anyone want a dog? I was going to say free to a good home, but just free to any home. Oh, that's ready. Can't go riding through the chicken pen. It's terrible behaviour. I'm going to call it quits for the day. This game is just annoying the shit out of me. I'll come back and do that grass tomorrow or something. I've had a gutful. Alright peeps, catch you later.